crying at the cheesiest TV commercials, picking a fight with anyone or anything, an inanimate object will do, and stuffing your face with carbs and chocolate. These are all signs of PMS. But what about a PMS face? You wake up in the morning, you go to the mirror, this happens to me, and it's like, oh, I've got my PMS face, which for me, really depends on how much time you've got. But if you have got extra time, and I can get a bit kind of, oh, I just look so washed out and drained. So I sometimes put a really quick face mask on, something that is like this Decleor 3-minute one. And there are quite a lot of these on the market. It doesn't matter which brand you use. And this is something that I sometimes put on because I know while I'm cleaning my teeth, this can be acting. What it'll be doing is just plumping everything up, bringing the blood to the surface, because this almost sort of tingles a little bit. This is an aromatherapy product, so if you're very sensitive, this might be too much. But for me, I get a sort of very sluggish, almost grey face. So 3 minutes of that while I'm cleaning my teeth really makes a difference. So my face feels so much fresher now and just more awake. And I've just noticed I do look a little bit crazy with these bubbles things on, but maybe you're feeling a bit crazy and you are in the privacy of your own bathroom, so just wear whatever crazy bubbles you like. Now on to what you put on before your makeup. So depending on how your skin is when you PMS, I am a bit oilier than I am usually, so I often switch to a lighter kind of skin preparation. Some people might be drier. It all depends on you. Me personally, I use this, which is the Serious Hyaluronic Firming Serum by Michelle. And when I first tried this product out, I was just sort of testing it at home, and I put it on my skin and I walked out the bathroom. When I went back into the bathroom, I said out loud, oh, wow, because it really firmed up my skin and just made me look sort of super awake, and you know, my face just looked really, really alive, and it's totally instant. So for me personally, this is my fail-safe PMS thing that I use, and I don't really use it all the rest of the month. It's quite a strong product, but I really find that for me, everything just feels like my face sort of all goes back into shape and looks great, and I could kind of use it everywhere. So on to eye creams, and certain ingredients can really help with different types of eye problems that you might get when you've got your PMS face. I'm going to start by talking about this one called Start Over, and this is by Sunday Riley, and I really like this one because it has an instantly cooling effect, and it's also very tightening on the skin, so you feel a kind of lifting effect. Lots of patting is good when you're applying, just because it breaks down that lymph and gently just soothes it out, drains it out. If you find that you're really dark under your eyes because you're tired, then something like the Even Better Eyes by Clinique is really, really good. Not only does it contain a multitude of great skincare ingredients that will help to lift that darkness, but also it's slightly tinted as well. So you're patting on a product which is helping to reduce the puffiness, get rid of the dark circles, but also has a little bit of a tint as well. Even if you're going to use concealer on top, it's a good little bit of light reflection that you can start with. Also, anything with caffeine in is brilliant. This is the Revitalift Eyes by L'Oreal, and lots of brands do these caffeine kind of either roll-ons or something like this, which just has a metal applicator on. And these are so good because particularly if you keep them in the fridge or keep them somewhere cool, you really feel a cooling effect, and just pressing gently and working out will seriously help to reduce the puffiness. I'm just going to put a little bit of the Sunday Riley one on the other eye as well. I don't know if you can see, but my face is totally changing shape with these products. I feel much sort of tighter and more awake. So onto foundation, and you may find you're one of those people that turns into a complete oil slick when you have your PMS face. So using something like a mattifying primer before your foundation will really help at this time of the month. I particularly like this one by Bioderma, which is really, really good. You can use it all over if you turn into an oil slick, all over, or just around the center of your face. For foundation, obviously you don't need a special foundation for that time of the month. Unless you're somebody that just goes from dry to super oily. So just apply your usual foundation in your usual way. I mean, you don't need to do anything special there. You may find that you just need a little bit extra in certain areas, maybe around your chin, because you have lots of little bumps or you're starting to get a bit of a breakout in that area. So just adapt it to whatever your face is doing. So on to the rest of your makeup, and you obviously don't want to spend ages and ages doing your makeup. So really just focus on what are the main issues that you have with your PMS face. So if it is, everyone needs a little bit of something under their eyes, I'm going to go straight onto concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I can be quite dark under the eyes just because I feel super, super tired. So I'm just going to pat this in. It's a touch more than I probably wouldn't usually use, but if I'm feeling really dark, then I want something that's going to be a little bit more coverage than normal. And this is really long lasting, and it has skincare ingredients, so it's going to help to lift them as well. So that's a slightly heavier concealer, just to really counteract those dark circles that I usually get. Then with the rest of your concealing, it depends what's happening with your face. If you are someone that gets a big breakout or one massive spot, then I would suggest absolutely using a Vichy Derma blend or something like a Pro Longwear concealer, or whatever you normally use when you get a big breakout, and really spending time covering this breakout that you've got, because better to spend time doing that. You'll feel much better, and then spend less time maybe on your eye makeup or on your lips or whatever, because that's the way that you're going to feel the most confident. So if you are having breakouts, focus on that and really cover and conceal. And if they're raised, if they're those ones that they never really come to a head, they're the ones I get like one giant one sometimes on my cheek, and it's just a hard lump. The secret with those is to make them as matte as possible. So put powder over the top, and the matter they are, the less they catch the light, and the less they catch the light, the less you see the shape of them. So really conceal them and then mattify them 100% so you don't see the actual raised shape of them. Then for powder, I would probably use more powder than normal, particularly around my chin and my nose, which I will be shinier than I usually would be at the other times of the month. So I'm going to put plenty of that all over. So on to eye makeup, and if eyes aren't a problem for you at PMS time, then just do whatever you normally do, or just keep them natural. If you're someone that gets that real puffiness on the lids, I personally find that wearing more eye makeup than usual really, really helps, because anything that's dark pushes recedes back. You know, it's that kind of the basic rules of makeup. So using something a little bit darker, especially around the socket line or the puffy areas, really pushes them back and helps to define the eyes a lot more. I'm going to use the Naked 2 palette, and I'm going to use the matte shade Tease and Busted, which is kind of a dark smoky colour. So although I'm saying put extra makeup on, I just want to make it clear that in general, don't feel the urge because you're feeling all angry and depressed to pile and pile and pile loads of makeup on. What you want to do is find the right products and use them in the right areas. So it's being very clever about your makeup and really thinking about, okay, what's happening here and which area needs the most attention. So I'm applying the matte brown shade all over to start. So that's really simply all over the lid. Then using the shade Busted, wherever you're puffy, so you're probably puffy into here, push it with your eyes open, just push the colour into the puffy areas and kind of visualise that you're pushing the puffiness away. And that's a really good guide to where the darkness should be. And again, it's going to be different on everyone, but doing it with your eyes open will really, really help to see what the right area is. And it can be simple. It doesn't have to be, when I say more eye makeup, I just mean cleverer eye makeup, thinking about kind of detracting and pushing puffy areas back. I'm applying exactly the same shade underneath. And what you do with the eye makeup underneath depends on how your eyes go and you're PMSy. For me, I'm very puffy on the top. I don't really get puffy underneath. I just get dark. So although I want definition, I don't want to make them too smoky underneath because then I just look darker and heavier and more tired. So I definitely put a little bit more concealer on and then just a little bit of this to kind of define. If you get puffy underneath, then you can get away with using a little bit more, definitely, but make sure you conceal properly. So onto eyelashes, and super curled eyelashes. So helpful. If you're feeling tired, they wake up your entire face and your eyes just look brighter and fresher immediately and look well slept. So mascara is obviously incredibly useful at this time of the month because beautifully curled lashes with nice mascara, long and separated, will detract from a multitude of sins. So I'm going to use this Origins Gin Zing one, which is a brightening mascara, and it's a nice lengthening one. So if you find you're one of those people that is crying at absolutely everything, then I would recommend a waterproof mascara, of course. But I think just get plenty on and have a nice kind of clean, kind of fluttery lash. It really helps to lift everything. And for eyebrows, it's no different than usual, although I will say that if you need to do a little bit of tweezing or plucking or something, I would just, if you're feeling really premenstrual, just forget it, because if I take out a hair when I'm feeling like that, I just, ow, it hurts so much, and you just lash out at your husband or your boyfriend who's walking past, get really, really aggressive. So just leave it. Don't worry about it. People don't notice the odd stray, and better to wait till you're feeling more stable and then go and do your usual whatever you do with your brows. So just brush them into place and maybe put a bit of pencil on, but don't worry about them. If you make your eyes look great, you don't really notice so much anyway. Another thing is watch out for marketing, because if you're feeling a little bit like that and then you feel, oh, it looks terrible, I don't know what to do, and then you sort of see, you know, some company's got a new yellow and orange eyeshadow palette. Oh my God, that's what I need. If I put that on, I'm going to look so much better. And, you know, you're really not. Just stick to the products that you're used to using, your fail-safes, the ones that you know work for you, and don't be swayed by any crazy marketing. So on to what to do with the rest of your face. So if you are a puffy face person when you're at that time of the month, I'm not. I get drawn, if anything. I go thinner and just look tired and heavier and just all kind of not good in that way. And other people and friends of mine get the big, you know, the big face, the big puffy face. If you're the puffy face person, then contour is your best friend. And I recommend definitely doing something with more of a powder, maybe, unless you're good with creams. But powders, matte powders, are just easier. Just make sure you get the right shade for your skin tone. I'm not going to do it on me because it's going to make me look too drawn. But something like a Rimmel one or Bobbi Brown, they both do good matte ones. And you can check out my website. I've got lots of ideas about different contours. And also I did make a video a while back about how to contour your cheeks. So have a look at that. Likewise, if you are someone that gets very sallow, tired looking and drawn, which is the category that I fall into, I find that blusher is my absolute best friend when I've got my PMS face. And I will use, if I go sallow, which sometimes I do, I look kind of almost greenish grey coloured, then a really bright pink, like this bluey sort of pink, really counteracts the sallowness, and my skin just suddenly really pops and looks so much more vibrant and fresh. If you're someone that has more redness naturally in the skin, then obviously you'll want to conceal the redness, and then for your blusher you want to go for something that's more of a sort of warm apricot-y rose pink rather than a very bluish one. So I'll just show you how something like this sort of bluish pink, and just pop it onto your cheeks, not in too much of a shape really, because what we're doing here is kind of cheating fresh, vibrant skin, a well slept face. And blusher has the added effect of sort of brightening up the whites of your eyes as well. So if you place it kind of on the apple of your cheek and then sort of bring it up and out from there, just keep those edges really, really soft, it will instantly lift the whites of your eyes. So again, you'll be looking less drawn and tired and all of those things. And just build up slowly, because you don't want too much, but you can tell when it's the right colour as well. You get a sort of freshness coming into your face, and you can tell when you've got enough on as well. As soon as you have that little lift feeling, then you know you've hit it. So on to lips, and my advice would be to go for your happy lip. Whatever your happy lip is, if a red lip makes you happy, go for it. If when you've got PMS you don't want anyone looking at you and you feel so unconfident and you don't feel happy, then go for maybe a more natural lip, and that's going to make you happy. I am going to put on today a BB lip by Number 7. Also, I like these baby lips by Maybelline. Something like this I would probably feel comfortable with, just because it would be kind of low maintenance. And for me, I would have spent all my time covering my one big spot, putting on my blusher and doing my eyes and getting rid of the puffiness on my eyes, so I won't have any time left personally to do a lip. So I will go for this BB lip, and this is just going to give some colour, feel really nice, feel really moisturising, and not do too much else, and not take up too much time. At the end of my makeup, if I'm really puffy on the eyes, I sometimes go back in. If I feel like I just haven't got rid of the puffiness at all, I might add a bit more colour, or I may even add a pencil just along the lashes, just to kind of push back that sort of puffy area. Another thing I get, I don't know if this is common, maybe it's just me that gets this, but sometimes I get a really asymmetrical face. This is when I've got it severely bad. And what that will mean is that one side of my face, I think this side kind of goes, the eyebrow goes up and that face looks quite bright, and this side almost collapses. And when that happens, I have to cheat this side of my face by putting a bit more eye makeup on and kind of bringing it up a little bit higher on this side. So I don't know if that's common or not, maybe you can tell me in the comments, but when I get my asymmetrical weird face, then at the end I'll kind of almost try to balance it right at the end by adding more eyeshadow. So that's the finished look. I'm going to take out my crazy PMS Princess Leia baubles. And in terms of what you wear, that can really help. So wear something, don't go and buy something brand new and feel like you need a whole new outfit when you're really, really PMSy. I think the worst thing that I ever bought on PMS was a pair of, I think I can only describe them as, I think they were neoprene, you know, that kind of wetsuit fabric. A pair of bright purple neoprene jeans, which I thought looked amazing and were going to make me feel better. So try and stick to clothes that you know are comfortable and feel nice on, and are colours that really lift your face. So if I'm feeling really PMSy and I'm really sallow, I often wear pink because it's almost like an extension of makeup. It kind of really brightens up your face. It gives you almost a blush and it lifts your face, and everyone has a particular colour, I think, that does that for them. So stick to that. And, you know, I know that lovely makeup and hair, particularly hair, you know, if you're someone that gets very greasy hair when you PMSy, which I do, I find that although I'm tired, I try and get up a little bit earlier and wash my hair because it just makes me feel better and it makes the day sort of more bearable. But lovely hair, lovely makeup and lovely clothes isn't necessarily going to stop you feeling psychotic or stop you from stuffing your face with chocolate or stop you from arguing with everyone. But at least you're going to look fabulous while you do it. So I hope that was helpful.